Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, just don't scroll on by here. Hey, I got a question for you. Are you looking to grow your plumbing business? Well, if you are, you're not going to miss my special guest on this episode of Potty Talk Live, and it's starting right now. Hey, plumbing bros, join me in the trenches, the crawl spaces, basements, kitchens, and baths all around this big, beautiful world of ours as we take it in and talk to plumbing pros just like you. I'll try to spit it out. I know you guys are laughing at me over here. Hey, I'm Richard Behney, the $1 Million Plumber, teaching plumbing entrepreneurs the business of plumbing and how to free yourself from the bondage of simply owning your job to having a powerful money-making machine, creating the life, the legacy, the security that you desire for you and your family. You are in the Plumbing Business Success Zone, and this is Potty Talk Live. Hey, we do have a great one here. In fact, I'm so excited about this show here. I'm kind of stumbling all over my words here. They're laughing over here. The lovely Laura's in the house. She's laughing at me. Hey, sweetheart, I get it together here. Hey, man, we got a cool cat. You see this cat that we have on here? We got the CEO of Rooter Hero Plumbing on here. All right. He's going to be dropping some nuggets of gold here. Just talking in the green room before the show. And, you know, comes from an immigrant family. I mean, it's the American dream. So, hey, if you're a guy, you know, a cat that's also in a truck and looking to grow something, I mean, they're all over the place here. Okay. So if you're looking to go from one truck to lots of trucks and grow your plumbing business, hey, this guy's going to be dropping some nuggets of gold. So you're not going to want to miss it. All right. So, hey, if you're a first time viewer, welcome. We love all of our viewers, but especially if you're a first-time viewer. If you are a first-time viewer, put it down in the comments here, you know, where you're viewing from, okay? Let us know where you're viewing from, all right? Hey, and also...
It's freezing everywhere in the country.
Is it freezing? All right. Give us a temp where you're at, because we're out here. We're kind of whining. I know it's kind of feeling, you know, I got something kind of nice and warm here to drink.
Oh, it's cold.
Cold and rainy, icy. It's icy here in central Indiana. Well, I know my Canadian brothers are like, what are you talking about? Stop your whining. Okay. Okay. I'll stop my whining. Okay. Hey, also want to remind you, what do we have here?
Says, what up, Richard?
What up? Hey, Jude. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. All right. Got the boys on. And Joseph, how you doing, man? How you guys doing? What's a temp where you're at here? The cat we're talking to, I'm going to ask him. He's in California, as their old governor used to call it. Was it California? California. All right. So we'll find out what it's like out in California here shortly here. Hey, but just also want to, hey, comment 5. Okay, put a 5. Comment 5 to subscribe to Potty Talk Live. Hey, I'm a poet. Didn't even know it. I'm the poet plumber. All right. But just, yeah, comment 5 to subscribe to Potty Talk Live. You don't want to miss these episodes here. We got cats like this on. They're just dropping nuggets of gold here. So if you're serious about growing your plumbing business, hey, you don't want to ever miss an episode of Potty Talk Live. So also, hey, should I do it now? I know we've been talking. Should I give the freebie away? Sure. Should we? I know we're talking about it's only for a short amount of time here. Okay. So hey, you're going to want to do this to get my free, the 7 must knows to be $1 million plumber. All right. My ebook. I put it all down there. The 7 principles you got to know to be successful with your plumbing business. All right. It's free to you right now for a little bit longer here. Simply type 7 in the comments. All right. So I guess it's a number episode here. Oh, we got 5 to subscribe, 7. All right. To get the free 7 must know. Like it goes with 7. See, I guess that's how you came up with that. All right. 7 must knows to be $1 million plumber. So there you have it. Got a couple good things there for you. Good to see all of you here. Hey, let's get our cat in here. All right. We got John Akhoian, CEO of Rooter Hero Plumbing. John, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Richard. How you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you. You ready to rock Potty Talk Live?
I'm ready to rock.
Yeah, you are, buddy. Yeah, you are. Oh, man, it's good to have you on board here. So, hey, before we get into the plumbing stuff, why don't you tell us a little bit about, you know, who you are and what you like to do when you're not literally saving the plumbing world?
Well, I mean, I'm a father of 2, married. I love spending time with my family. That's my hobby.
Yep.
When I'm not with them, and I love exercising, so I go mountain biking. I love running, and I love outdoors. I mean, being here in Southern California, we have a lot of mountains.
I know you're killing me, man.
Yeah. And the weather here, by the way, Richard, is like mid-70s today. So it's like, it's crazy. We haven't hit winter yet. So
Yeah, that's right.
We only have two seasons over here. We have summer and we have spring or fall. There's no
Oh
winter
man,
that skips us.
it's beautiful. When I was a kid, I used to love the snow, but man, it's like, yeah, I'm California dreaming. So that's good, man. That's good. It's good to have you on here. So, well, let's get into the plumbing stuff. So how did you get into plumbing?
Well, I like most people, I fell into plumbing. Right?
Yeah,
Plumbing wasn't my childhood dream. I
it
wasn't growing
wasn't.
up
Was
going. I
it?
wasn't growing up going, hey, I want to be a plumber.
Yeah.
So my story goes back to when I was 17. I was in high school. I wasn't doing all that great. And my dad, who was the breadwinner of the family, all of a sudden he fell down and had a heart attack.
Mm.
And he died. And I had to get out and I had to help support the family. So I got into working with an uncle of mine who was a plumber. I dropped out of high school, went to work for him. And I started out as an apprentice, as a laborer, and quickly moved up to, running the whole truck on my own. And that's, kind of my story in plumbing. I started doing
That,
plumbing as a laborer.
oh man, that's so familiar. Other than sorry to hear about your father and that those kind of issues, but the idea when you said falling, you fell into plumbing.
Yeah.
That is so common that yeah, none of us really grew up dreaming of becoming plumbers, right?
Right. Well, I know a few people, but their dads were plumbers, and they wanted to
Right.
be a plumber. They wanted to be like their dad, and it's either your dad's a plumber and you want to be like your hero, or you fall into plumbing because something happened, right?
Exactly. And we were talking before the show here. Your parents, you moved, you immigrated to the U.S., right? So
Yeah. I was
you're the
originally
American
born in
dream.
Armenia. I was born in
Yeah.
Armenia, and my parents immigrated here when I was 2 years old. And I'm really grateful that they did. I've been back to Armenia many times, and I'm glad I'm in America, man. I'm telling you,
Yep.
it's the place. It's the place to be.
But there we go. Guys, I just want to hear that, there's some nuggets of gold just right there, a huge nugget of gold about just taking advantage of the opportunities that we do have, right? And so you have. So we're going to get to that. So you got into plumbing. What did you lean toward? What was your expertise? Kind of where did you go towards?
Well, I started in service plumbing. So Arthur, the guy I used to work with, my only boss, the only guy I worked with, he was a commercial plumber. So he would do service and repair on apartment buildings. So a majority of his work was going out and servicing big 40, 30, 20 unit apartments, 100 unit apartments. So I started on working on big pipe. I mean, I started, fixing 2, 3 inch water lines and stuff
Oh,
like
man.
that. So started with the big stuff, and I just loved it. I loved going under the house. I remember my first crawl space, first day on the job. This is a conversation we had. Arthur tells me, "Hey, John, you're either going to love this or you're going to hate it, right?"
Right.
So,
Yeah.
today's the day. We got to go fix a water line under a building. So, we're going to crawl under there. I didn't even know buildings had crawl spaces. I'm like, damn, there's this little room under the building.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I crawled under there with him wearing a crawl suit and just went back and forth getting him tools. And at the end of the day, we're full of mud. We're headed back to his house where he worked out of. And he said, "So, what do you want to do? You want to do this?" I said, "Absolutely. I love getting dirty. I mean, I don't mind being under houses. I'm not claustrophobic. And I love the fact that we just gave, these 50 families water again,
Yeah. There we go.
So,
You
so
literally you saved their day, right?
yeah, it was awesome. So from that day on, I fell in love with the plumbing career, and I've done nothing but plumbing my whole life.
So now you probably maybe did this for a few years, worked for someone else. But when was like your aha moment, the tipping point where you thought, well, maybe I could do something on my own?
Yeah, well, that happened when I had a conversation with Arthur. So, I went from being a laborer, fetching tools and doing a lot of the digging and all of that stuff for him, to eventually running a truck. I mean, 6, 8 months down the line, he was staying at home, and I was going with an apprentice of mine that I was helping teach.
Right.
And you know, I was going out and doing the jobs. He'd give us the jobs in the morning. We'd come back in the late evening, and sometimes late afternoon, sometimes late evening, whenever the job stopped. So one day I had a conversation with him, and I said, "Hey, Arthur, I love this field of plumbing. I love what I do. I appreciate the fact that you've taught me everything. You know, let's grow this business. I mean, you know, I could train other guys, and you know, we could add another truck and another truck." I go, it's not. And Arthur's response to me was, you know, "I don't want to do that." He goes, "I'm happy with my one truck.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want the headache." And he said, "You know, you're a good plumber. You've learned really fast. So, you know, you know, you're either going to keep doing this, and, you know, I'd be happy to pay you because you're doing a great job, or, you know, your other thing is go work for a big company where there's career paths, or go start your own thing." So, you know, after working with him for a couple of years, yeah, I managed to borrow some money and buy some hand tools, and just went off on my own. You know,
And just did your thing, and just started out, you know, and just jumped in, just went for it. A lot of guys, that is so common. You know, we talk to a lot of guys, and look, if you're a plumber that just likes, you know, working for someone else, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we hear that, we talk about this you know, program, and even my coaching has a lot to do with guys already, you know, in business and want to have their own plumbing business. But there's also a lot of guys that are very good plumbers. And we need that, by the way. The industry needs that just are very good at making the company good, and they enjoy that kind of life. But they don't want the headaches. The lovely Laura just chimed in. They don't want the headaches, which there's a lot of truth to that, you know. But there's some guys that get a little dream. That entrepreneur, you had that entrepreneur bug, you know. It just kind of hit you, you know. You saw that, you got that vision. Well, man, if I got one truck, two trucks, I can get a few trucks here, and you know, we could all do well, you know, that kind of thing. And so there's guys out there. Hey, if you're a guy out there that's thinking like that, you know, give me a thumbs up. If that's you, let me know you're out there. All right. So, so what surprised you? So you got in it. You said you put some hand tools together. You probably got a little bit of put a truck together, right? And started out. And so, you know, there we go. Like we all do, you know, we get out there and we're going to take over the plumbing world, right? What was something that you didn't think of, or something that surprised you, that when you got into, you know, your own plumbing business?
Well, I mean, what surprised me is that, you know, work doesn't automatically come your way.
Yeah, right.
So I went from working every day. I mean, I had a bunch of stuff to do to, you know, man, I had a lot of free time on my hands. You know, I'd get a couple jobs here and there, but there was a lot of times I didn't have work. So what surprised me is the fact that I had to start becoming self-disciplined, right? I had to start doing things, and I had to make decisions early on what I was going to do to generate business, because, you know, it wasn't easy in the beginning. So I made a decision. I said, hey, you know, I'm going to do two things, or actually three things. I'm either going to be fixing somebody's plumbing, or I'm going to be out there looking for somebody that needs help to fix their plumbing. So, and I'm going to do this 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week if I have to. And I just started hitting the pavement. I started hitting the streets. And when I didn't have plumbing work to do, I was just hitting the streets, knocking on doors. I was going here and there. I was going to management companies, and I was giving them my business cards. I was, you know, networking with people. I was just looking for work. I was just like, sometimes I'd have 3 days where all I did was look for work, and then all of a sudden I'd land a job, and I was busy for the next 2 days, you know?
There we go. So, oh man, John, that's a huge nugget of gold that John just laid out there for us. You know, that is, you know, we get there and we think that we're just going to, you know, we got the truck, and maybe we even gone a little farther. You know, we got it all, you know, fancy vinyled, and of course we're the best plumber in town, right? And we think now that we're out there that everyone's just going to be calling us, but it just doesn't happen that way. And so you got to wear those different hats, you know, one time, and that is the struggle. One moment you're the plumber, you know, and the next moment, you know, you're the man, you're the sales guy, you're drumming up the work, and you got to do whatever it takes to drum up the work. And sometimes that means handing out door knockers, handing out business cards, knocking on doors, you know. There we go. So, John, I know, and you're a humble guy here. So, I mean, I hear what you started with one truck, you know, some few hand tools, you know, a truck, and a dream, right? Which we a lot of us start at. But now you have an organization that is, it's in Southern California. You're in Northern California, and I believe you're in Arizona as well. So you've gone from one truck to, and not making, having to scrounge work to, you're multi-trucks, multi-million-dollar organization. And so, what is, and then that's impressive. And so I'm going to ask you just to be a little transparent, because that is really, to get that's not an easy thing to do. What is something today, and you're, so you've done all the hard work and you've worked with it. What is something that even today that you struggle with?
Well, I mean, right now my struggles were different from when they were, 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. But what we struggle with today, right now is finding good plumbers. I mean, that's the number one problem we have. So we've started to train people. We started to create, we have our own university where, we got guys coming in and we'll teach them the entire trade. We do ride-alongs. We look for attitude and teach them plumbing, So that's the hardest thing right now is finding good people. We have a lot of great people in our company, lots of great people, but it's getting harder and harder to find them. It
is, yeah. That is something that we hear. Hey, if you guys that are listening or watching, rather, if you agree with that, is that it's tough to find, good guys. Give us some thumbs up that you agree with that. And that is so true. What do you, John? What do you attribute that to, or what do you think the issue is?
Well, I mean, when I was going to high school, I actually wrote a book about this. It's called "The Secret to Real Wealth" and how a career in plumbing could make you wealthy. And it's a book. If somebody sends me an email, I'd be happy to send a free book.
We'll get that email address from you. Okay.
Yeah, great. So what I think it is that colleges are doing a great job, sending kids off to college. As parents, we all want our kids to get higher education. We want them to not do like sort of. I think when you look at the trades, it's almost like a plan B for people, right? If you don't. That's what it was for me, because my parents wanted me to be an attorney, and they wanted me to either be a doctor or a lawyer or something. And they said, hey, this is the only way you're going to be able to do it. But I got into plumbing. I fell in love with it, right? And I'm like, why isn't plumbing plan A, right? Why does it have to be plan B? So the whole book's all about, how our guys are making more money than some guys coming out of college, university, getting their masters and whatever they're getting it in, and I think it has to do with the universities doing a great job with marketing, selling the dream. I think it has to do with that, creating that what do you call it, the loans, the college loans and the repayments and all of that stuff. So right, and plus, I mean, budget cuts took a lot of the shop classes out of high school. Yeah. So in California, we had, when I was going to high school, I had the mechanic class, I was taking mechanics, I had woodwork, I was doing all of this stuff. And nowadays it's not even available. I mean, we can't even send kids to do that kind of stuff, and it's getting worse and worse with electronics coming along, because now we're in the digital age and kids are growing up with, this digital world. So, nobody wants to grab a pipe wrench, they want to grab a cell phone or they want to grab a laptop. Exactly. So, and it's getting harder and harder, because most people are either going to college or they're going into the digital world, and we're cutting away a lot of this blue collar work, which is what's helping create the infrastructure and rebuild the infrastructure. Exactly. And another great thing is robots aren't going to take our jobs. AI is not going to take over plumbing. And so it really is secure, and it's needed, and you can make a very, very good living, not even having your own plumbing business, but you can make a very good living as a plumber, and that's what this is all about. And that's what's sad, that a lot of guys are missing out. Well, let me hit. Okay, I'm being a little pushy. Okay, John, I'm gonna be a little pushy. I don't give us, all your secret sauce, but what is something, give us. We do have other business owners that are listening, watching. That are looking for guys, and I know if we're right there in California next to you or Arizona, we're kind of competing for the same guys, but we're not all right together.
But what is something that you do that Rooter Hero does to attract and try to find guys?
Well, we have a full-time recruiter, which she's really great. I mean, she's out there searching all day long. I mean, we're going to job fairs. We're doing a lot of stuff, to attract good people. And we're not necessarily looking for people with experience. I mean, most of our managers are looking for young guys that have great attitudes, and we're teaching them the trade. And I think that's the way we're getting them in, because there's more plumbers retiring right now that are coming in. And the whole idea is for us to, keep that even balance of people coming into the trade. So we're really encouraging, talking, to kids in high school, talking to, junior colleges, talking to people, and giving this awareness that there's money to be made in this field, in this trade. And if you decide to come in, if you don't mind getting a little dirty, right? You don't mind using your hands, then you can make a lot of money, and you could retire wealthy.
Oh, you sure can. And guys, I just want to, and there's a few nuggets of gold there. First of all, what I heard, John, what I heard you say, you have someone full time. So it's a full time process. I think a lot of the problem, and especially with small shops, the 1-2 truck guys, which is a lot of us that were out there. And you started that, so I know you get that. You're doing the plumbing. And we're always looking for customers, but to be able to grow, you need men. You need guys and gals, but it's mostly a male.
Gals,
Right. But you need those technicians. So you got to constantly be looking for it. So that's what I heard you say. And now you're in a position where you actually have someone hired that is constantly looking, right? And then also you have a teaching program. I mean, so there is some kind of training. Gone are the days where we probably just. I have a similar story like you, John, where you just literally they stuck me with a guy and he hung me down a well, and that was my first job. Wow. and said and kind of warned me not to drop his pipe wrench or he dropped me down the well. Well, I was today, you couldn't do that today with OSHA standards, but that's how we learned. But you can't do that any longer. You have to have this training process and looking. And then today there is a reality. You got to, we do have to help create that vision that this can be a very good, lucrative career that can provide a very good lifestyle, for you. So that's what I heard you go over. And those are huge nuggets of gold right there. Yeah, very good. The lovely Lord is very good. She's over here nodding her head. I mean, that's what it's all. And guys, right here, if you want to look, we're talking with John Akhoian, CEO of Rooter Hero Plumbing, and it has gone from one truck to multi trucks, multi-million dollar, plumbing organization. Okay. So, if you're looking to start out, and you're in one truck, you can do it as well, but it's being aware and doing these kinds of things. So, and there's, John, thank you for sharing, such great information there. So,
my pleasure.
So where do you envision Rooter Hero being here in a year? What's that? You're still dreaming, man. I know you're still dreaming. So what's your dream?
Yeah, well, right now we got 11 locations altogether. So, we're busy looking for good people, and we're advancing our soldiers into running locations. So they're making career moves upward into management. And, I see us being in more states than 2. We're very dominant in California. We've got a lot of offices up and down the state, and we'd like to move into other states, and we'd like to get our message out there to more people. And we're doing it by helping our people advance. We're doing it by attracting good people. We're doing it by bringing in people that are going to love the trade, and we get committed people. We talk about commitment a lot, and when people have commitment, they have the ability to rise in organizations, or they choose to go start their own, they could also do that as well. So.
Oh man, I love you, brother. All right, if I would say that, because that's great. I just love, also for you guys that are watching, this is the stuff that, just, hits my heart. Here's a guy, John, right? He's right here. He's talking with you. He started, as he admitted, he kind of fell into plumbing, wasn't expecting it. And and you know, did the work. And he started with one truck with nothing, not a rich man, okay, you know, making it happen, you know, and now look where he is, and where he's going, and you can do the same thing. Yeah, it is the American dream, you know, and I know there's Australian dreams. I want to talk to my Aussie brothers and my Canadian brothers. You know, there's an Australian dream, the Canadian dream, the South African dream, UK dream. All right, we all got our dreams here. But you know, this happened here in America here, and we all can live this dream. The bottom line is that we all, you know, being in the plumbing industry is a great plumbing industry, no matter where you're at in the world. It's a great plumbing industry to be in, and there's a lot of opportunity there. And if we just put some effort into it, if you would agree, John, you know, you can create a life for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, man. Hey, well, we're getting there. Can I get a little more time, guys? I get a little more time. Okay. Oh, we got some more time here before you. And also, hey, just want you know, I want to get well, before we go, I got one more question here before you go here, though. But I want to make sure we get to know how we can get a hold of you and how we can get that book, or where, you know, guys can email you and that kind of a thing. So we'll do that. But what's the best advice that you've ever received that you could share with the guys?
Well, I'm an avid, you know, I'm a high school dropout, but I'm an avid reader, and I love listening to audiobooks. And I'd say, you know, the best advice I got was Jim Rohn said, work harder on yourself than your career. And and I've always worked harder on myself. I mean, you know, listening to books, reading, doing all of that stuff. I worked harder on myself in areas of becoming a better person than I did, you know, on my trade of being a great plumber, because I knew there was always a better plumber out there. I mean, I'd never be able to compete with some of the guys that are out there in the trade. So I'd say Jim Rohn. I mean, you know, work on yourself. You know, it's the better you get, the better your life gets.
Oh man, that is huge. You know, one of the sayings we have here is that, you know, it ain't about plumbing. And so it is about making yourself better, you know, customer service, taking care of your people, all that kind of stuff. You know, really, you know, I know it is, we're plumbing, and it's kind of ironic to say it ain't about plumbing, but it really isn't. And man, great advice there, John. I appreciate it, man. So, hey, where can we get a hold of you? I want to make sure that we can get this in, and can you guys listen up so we can get it out to the guys as well? How can we get a hold of you and get that book?
Yeah, my email. If anybody sends me an email, I'll send you a book. I'm writing a new book called Creating 99 Millionaires, and it's all about the plumbing industry as well, and we're helping create millionaires in the plumbing industry. But my email is John, John, @rooterhero.com, and that's John, John, @rooterhero.com. So if anybody sends me an email, I'd be happy to send you a book, and my new book's coming out soon. It'll be out in about a month or so, and we're looking forward to that one as well.
All right, we're going to check that out. You guys check it out too. There we go. We got it up on the screen, or had it up on the screen, John @rooterhero.com. It's easy to remember. All right, you guys check it out. All right. All right, John. Hey, man, I really appreciate it. A lot of great advice there. Really appreciate you taking the time to spend some time with us here on Potty Talk Live, and we look forward to talking with you again.
Thank you, Richard. Pleasure was all mine.
All right, brother. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. All right. There we go. John, CEO of Rooter Hero Plumbing. Love it, guys. Hey, guys started in a truck, you know, just probably a beater truck, a few hand tools, and a plumbing dream. And look where he is. And look, and he'd be the first. If you heard him say it, you know, if he could do it, you can do it too. All right. And that's it. The plumbing industry is a great industry. You just need to take advantage of it. So there we have it, man. Great interview. All right. It was awesome. That was good. All right. Hey, I hear the music. It is about time to flush this episode of Potty Talk Live. Hey, I want to remind you, comment 5 to subscribe. But also, before I let you go, I want to remind you that you are purposefully and wonderfully created, and that you were created to do great things. All right. So when you're out there doing your thing, as always, plumb like a champion.